Haha. Review time. I purchased this foundation from The Ordinary at the same time I bought my the silicone primer, and if you haven't seen my review of the Ordinary's high adherence silicone primer, shame on you. Everyone makes mistakes. I will leave it linked. I'll leave something somewhere. It's up there. Watch it if you'd like. My mom is talking on the phone in the other room, so sorry if you can hear that. Anyway, here is the foundation, and I will be reviewing this today. So this is the Ordinary's full coverage foundation. Oh, jeez. Scare the living crap out of me, mirror. Oh. Anyway, my heart is racing now. This is the Ordinary's full coverage foundation. You get 30 milliliters or 1 fluid ounce of product in this bad boy. I got the absolute lightest shade possible, number 1N, which is very fair with neutral undertones. So I'm just going to quickly go over some of the necessaries on the box before opening her up. This is the a high coverage creamy foundation that softens undesirable hues, and the directions are to shake well before use, dispense a small amount into the palm or back of your hand, smooth on, and blend throughout the face, ideally outward from the midpoint of the face. If irritation occurs, cease use, blah blah blah. Allergies, don't use it. Don't let children eat it, yada yada. So, let's open her up. And there she is. This just pretty much gives you the same directions that were on the box. Nothing new here. The packaging, it's plastic packaging. It has a really nice matte look to it. I don't know if... There we go. You're kind of in focus. It has like a really nice matte finish to it. Looks very chic. I like it. When I first opened this, just to take a look at the bottle when it first arrived, I was very confused as to why it didn't have a lid. But turns out that the pump locks. So you can see that. I'm pushing on it. Nothing's happening. Then can you hear that? Hopefully you can hear that. So this way is locked, and then you turn it and you can dispense the product. So I guess the idea is you don't need a lid. It seems to me that might become a little bit of an issue if you liked this enough to travel with it. Because I don't really like things that lock like that. I don't 100% trust them. I would want the safety net of an actual lid, but we can't have everything. So yes, there it is. Number 1N, super fair, neutral undertone. That's me. I'm just gonna give this baby a shake. Oh, I forget how much this was, but it was dirt cheap. I'll put the price somewhere on screen. Now that I've given her a shake, good thing I know what a klutz I am, and I brought a backup. There we go. I'm going to apply this foundation like I apply all of my foundations. I got a brush and I got a puff. So what I usually do is I just, I gotta remember to look here. Sorry. The camera's at a slightly different angle than I'm used to, so I keep looking over here because I'm, whatever. You don't care. Anyway. It's just, it's a learning curve for me. Gonna pump a little bit of this onto the back of my hand, dab it on my face, spread it all out with the brush, and then smooth it out and get rid of any brush marks later with the puff. I'm not going to be applying any primers or anything underneath the foundation, and I'm not going to be putting on any powders or additional makeup over the foundation. I don't typically with foundation reviews because I don't want anything to screw with the wearability of the makeup. Oh, I forget to mention this a lot, but I have skin that's on the drier side. So, yeah. There we go. That is one pump. It is medium runniness. I don't know how to gauge that. It is runny. It's not super thick. It does have some drippability. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dab this on my face. There is no smell to it, by the way. That seems like enough for now. Okay. So I'm just going to spread it out with the brush. As you can see, the color does seem to be matching me quite well. So there have been a couple people who have left comments about how I talk really quietly. It's hard to hear me sometimes. I really I appreciate feedback like that, because if it's hard for people to hear me, obviously they're not going to enjoy watching my videos. So as long as that feedback is being given in a respectful way, which it totally was. I would just like to let the people who commented know that I appreciate your feedback, and I have purchased a microphone off of Amazon. It is on its way here. I ordered a little microphone thing, a little lapel microphone, a little clippy one. So hopefully that helps. All right. There is what half of my face looks like. Obviously makeup, no makeup. You still see all the redness here. Got a little splotch of something there. Coverage is actually really nice. And that was only half a pump. I got the other half pump on my hand here. Gotta go ahead and do the other side of my face. It does seem to oxidize a bit though. See the color in the package versus the color on my hand. All right. So I've moved to a different angle in front of my window. So this is how it looks in better light. The coverage is actually really nice. It did, I think, oxidize a little bit, just a titch. I don't think it's super noticeable. A lot of foundations do that. So, yeah, the coverage is actually really nice. For one pump, this is more than enough, at least for me. You might need to layer it up a bit if you have more, if you have acne or a lot of redness or something else to cover, or maybe color correct underneath just a tiny bit. Concealer might also help with that. I don't use concealer, which is why I put foundation under my eyes. Apparently a lot of people don't do that. But I don't typically use concealer. I don't feel like I need to, unless I'm going for like a super full glam look, which I don't usually. So I don't bother using it on the day-to-day. It does look a tiny bit dry around my nose. Right there. It does look a tiny bit dry. And it has creased a little bit under my eyes. That's typical. Everything does that. And as for how it feels nice. I definitely wouldn't go swiping my fingers across my face, but it looks good so far. Okay, so other than, you know, my nose looking a little dry in a couple places and it creasing under my eyes a little bit, it's actually looking quite nice. To me. But obviously, the day is young, anything can happen. So yeah, if anything interesting happens, I'll let you guys know. Otherwise, I will see you later. Ooh, it is exactly noon right now. Well, 11:59. So, time of application, noon. That's when the clock starts. I remembered this time to say it out loud. Yay. Alright, see you later. I'm in my bathroom. So the foundation has been on my face for a couple of hours now. It's just after 2 p.m. It's dried down more, I guess. Like visually, the look of it is looking a little more, you can still see a little bit of, like, it's not completely matte, it's more of like a semi-matte. I believe online this foundation was said to be a more matte formula. It started to look a little powdery, I guess. You can kind of see it right over here. Obviously, still creasing under my eyes. And when I rub my finger across my face lightly, just the lightest touch, the foundation comes off. There we go. The foundation comes off. That's what my finger's supposed to look like. So there's clearly foundation all over this. So be aware. So be aware that it does come off. It will transfer. It's not super like stuck to your face. It's kind of like a powdery layer that comes off. But swiping my finger over my cheek didn't affect the overall coverage at all, and it's not like it's not sliding around, it's not getting on stuff. Just wanted to note that that happens. Yeah. I'm back. It is just past 10 o'clock at night. The Ordinary's foundation has been on my face for 10 hours. And I think I'm ready to take it off. And by the way, if I look oily, it's August, so I'm sweaty. Yeah. Anyway, here's how she's looking. As you can see, not a matte formula anymore. Our humid Canadian air took care of that. Like I was saying earlier in the video, it did crease under my eyes, pretty bad. I just got rid of that by patting it out under my eyes, and I didn't really have a problem after that. So it wasn't reoccurring throughout the day, it just needed a little zhuzh. I did crease a little bit in my smile lines. A little bit, nothing major. It didn't really settle into any other expression lines. Too bad. It rubbed off a little under my nose. That was my fault, not the foundation's. If my ring light wasn't on and, you were looking at my face in natural light, the foundation actually would look a little dry. Like I said, my face looks shiny because I'm dewy. The light is just bouncing off the moisture on my face because it's really hot in here. And there's a little bit of a dew on my face. But yeah, if that wasn't there, the foundation would actually look the tiniest bit dry, especially on my cheeks here. Because I do have skin that's on the drier side, what it tends to do is suck up any of the moisture that's in my foundation throughout the course of the day. So toward heading into evening, my foundation starts looking pretty patchy sometimes, depending on which one I use. This one, it doesn't look patchy. I mean, aside from the obvious, but again, that was me. I didn't lose a lot of coverage throughout the day. I thought I would lose more considering the kind of powdery layer that was on top of my skin. You saw it rubbing off on my fingers earlier. I was a little concerned about that, but the foundation actually held up pretty okay. It did clump up a little bit, actually, in like my nose crevices, right here, and over on the other side, right in here. Other than a couple little minor things, the Ordinary's full coverage foundation is actually kind of unspectacular. It's a good foundation. It's a decent foundation. I don't have many super bad things to say about it. It didn't wear horribly. It didn't run all over my face. It didn't transfer. Like, there was the odd time when I would accidentally touch my face, as you see here with the lack of product on the end of my nose because I've gone like this a couple times. It does rub off, but every foundation will rub off eventually. If you keep touching it, it's gonna rub off. But the places where I sort of accidentally touched my skin, where I rubbed my finger on my skin earlier, you can't see any marks from that or anything. It didn't settle into pores, but it didn't minimize the look of pores. It didn't make my skin look super good. I was always a little nervous throughout the day that it would transfer because of that kind of powdery quality it had to it when I touched it. So it's meh. It's a meh foundation. It's not good. It's not bad. Do I recommend it? I don't not recommend it. It's not something I'd say no. But this definitely would not be my first recommendation, just because it's not a foundation that just screams out to me. There's nothing spectacular about it. So if you want to try it, go ahead. It's like $6. So I'll definitely continue to use it. It's a good foundation. It's a decent foundation. It does its job, but it didn't do anything mind-blowing. So yeah, it wasn't a disappointment. I just say it's okay, which is okay. They can't all be bangers. So yeah, if you're if you're considering purchasing the Ordinary's coverage foundation, why not? I'd say oily skins beware. Although it adheres okay to my skin, I fear for oily skin folks who would be trying this. But yeah, it's an okay foundation. It does what it's supposed to do. It stayed on my face pretty okay. And now I'm ready to take it off. Thank you so much for watching. please consider subscribing. Alrighty then. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something out of this video. Please consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.